Well, that stunk. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, along with Ricky Vitalico and Ruben Amaro Jr. I'm Michael Barkamp. Ben Davis coming up in a few moments from Milwaukee. All right, so here's the deal. The Phillies' magic number to clinch the National League East remains at 4. Remains at 4. They have yet to clinch a postseason berth. A win tomorrow over the Mets would clinch them a postseason berth. We know that's coming, but that could happen as early as tomorrow. The magic number could shrink to 2 with a win tomorrow over the New York Mets. But Taijuan Walker's on the mound. But we'll get to that. Ricky Bo, your thought on tonight's loss. And by the way, we know the number, 34 straight wins the Phillies had when their starter went 7 or more innings, and Aaron Nola gave him 7 strong innings tonight.
Yeah, Nola was really good. I have nothing bad to say about Aaron Nola. He threw the ball extremely well. His breaking ball was on point. It was deceptive. It had a lot of depth to it. He's pitched really smart. I mean, this was one of the better games that you'll see Aaron Nola pitch. I mean, and it really couldn't come at a better time. But what couldn't come at a worse time was, for the second game in a row, 16 strikeouts. Mm-hmm. The Phillies have had, 54 outs in 2 nights. 32 of those have been strikeouts. Put the ball in play. In all reality, they had less than a handful of good at-bats tonight. I would say probably 2 or 3, and I would say one of them was the Alec Boehm home run that he hits out of the ballpark. The Bryce Harper walk that had 11 pitches in it. And then, you know what? You out there, you can pick whatever you want for the other ones, because there weren't many. Not much to write home about tonight. You know, it's just one of those things where these are going to be the type of games that the Phillies might have to win in the playoffs. And if you're striking out 16 times, not giving yourself a chance, I think that's just a major disappointment.
And in addition, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, and you got to come out with a big base hit. They just couldn't support Aaron Nola tonight. I mean, I thought the defense was outstanding. They did a lot of things well, but they just could not get the big base hit when they had opportunities to do so. They did have some pitches to hit during the course of this game, but could not come up with the big base hit. And that was really the story of the game. Great job by Orion Kerkering. It was a tough assignment there for Estevez. Punches out the one guy after the triple and the walk, et cetera. But, hey, tough loss. They got to bounce back somehow, some way, and they're pretty resilient. We'll see what they do in New York.
Let's go out to Milwaukee right now, check in with Ben Davis, who called tonight's game with Tom McCarthy. A 2-1 Phillies loss in the bottom of the 9th to the Milwaukee Brewers. Ben, figure this one out for me, my friend. 32 strikeouts combined in the last 2 nights. We told you last night, post-game, that the Phillies had won 4 straight games. They were 4-0 and striking out 16 times. It's never happened before in baseball. And the luck ran out on them tonight. But how are they going to get the bat on the ball and prevent that from happening?
I think just shorten up, Michael, not to make little of your question, but some big swings. I mean, hearty swings. I'm talking 3-0 big boy hacks on 0-2 pitches. And that's what I'm seeing right now out of them the last couple nights. They were able to get away with it, striking out 16 times and have a 4-0 record, but that came back to bite them tonight. But just some really big swings, Michael. And I think it's something that, you know, this is a great place to hit. Get caught up in the heat of the moment. They're trying to clinch a playoff berth. Maybe they're just trying to get a little anxious up there and over swinging. But definitely something I think they can definitely correct by shortening up and just simply putting some balls in play. We saw it last couple nights, or last night anyway, with Schwarber doing it and a couple other guys able to produce, but not able to do it on Monday or last couple nights, or Monday night and tonight.
You know, Ben, let's take the positive out of this, because there is one. Aaron Nola was outstanding. He hadn't been in his last couple starts. He gave up 10 earned runs in 9 innings in his last 2 starts. This was 7 innings, three hits, just 1 mistake in this ball game. What'd you see from Aaron tonight?
That ball that Hoskins hit out, Ricky, it literally may have been the only bad curveball he threw tonight. his fastball command was awesome, but his curveball command was really good too, and able to just dump it in there. We saw a couple 2-0 curveballs he just dropped in there and able to execute backdoor to the lefties and able to bounce it when he needed to. But it was set up with a good fastball command. We saw him still throwing 94 in the 7th inning. That's very promising. But he was awesome tonight and able to keep those Brewers hitters at bay. That's a scrappy bunch over there, but able to get 9 punch-outs himself. You got it. If you're Aaron Nola, I know that the team lost, but I think he should feel very confident moving forward and getting into that next start because he was lights out today.
Ben, talk a little bit about Orion Kerkering, who has been just outstanding lately and really unflappable in a situation where he's pitching basically to lose the game and ends up pitching as well as he did.
Yeah, it was something they made a concerted effort in spring training for him to throw his fastball more. And it's almost like a lot of these teams are sitting on that slider. When he came up last year, it was slider, slider, slider. And we said, well, he's got to throw that fastball. He's got a big arm. Throw that fastball more. Well, that's what he's been doing, and he's not just throwing it, he's locating it, both the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer. The 2-seamer has a ton of running, able to backdoor righties with it, front door lefties with it, and then he always has that slider in his arsenal. So he has been lights out, and I think it's at that point now where Rob Thomson trusts him in any situation. He's got some big weapons in the back end of that bullpen, but I think right now Orion Kerkering is throwing the baseball as well as anybody out there, and I think that confidence has grown with him, and it's really showing on the mound.
Talk about what it feels like in that clubhouse right now and how they bounce back. It's a really resilient ball club, and it has been over the last several years. How do they bounce back when they got Severino on the mound and they also have to have Taijuan Walker pitch as the 5th starter again?
Yeah, I think right now, Ruben, I think that's probably a ticked-off ball club in that clubhouse right now, knowing they had some opportunities, knowing they had some good pitches to hit in this particular game and didn't take advantage of it. So I think they're going to come out tomorrow. They just saw Severino in the last series back at home, so they'll have a very good idea of how to get to him and how he's going to attack this lineup. But I think this club right now, I know they are resilient, but right now I'm pretty sure that they're ticked off in that clubhouse, knowing they had a good opportunity and they squandered it.
Ben, combined, both teams, 28 strikeouts, 16 for the Phillies and 12 for the Milwaukee Brewers. And we watched in the 9th inning, as you did, when they had a man on third base and everybody was trying to kill the ball when all they needed to do was get a bat on it, loft it a little bit, run scores that way. Ultimately, they got the winning run. But what has changed about your sport in the recent past where guys are just trying to rip it in a situation like that when something else far easier would do?
It's the era we're in right now, Michael, and you saw Adames. If I swung that hard, I know he worked a walk, but he got down 0-2 and fouled a couple balls off. It looked like he was trying to hit a 20-run homer, which last time I checked is impossible to do, Michael. But if I swung that hard, man, I'd have to be at the chiropractor, honestly. And these guys are just cutting it loose no rest for the weary. These guys they're just out there. That's just the way baseball is. Baseball pays you for home runs. Baseball pays you for slug. Baseball pays you for strikeouts if you're a pitcher, and that's the route a lot of these guys are chosen to take. And, you know, you've heard me say it over and over. I want the average guy and the RBI guy, and I think, you know, it's unfortunately that's where we're at in baseball, but, you know, chicks dig the long ball, Michael. What can I tell you?
Bottom line.
Great point.
That is the bottom line. That's official,
Great
too, Ben.
point.
Mark, that's the motto of the sport, I believe.
Right.
All right, Ben. Thanks so much.
All
We're
right,
not going to
guys.
see you tomorrow. I hope
No.
not Friday, Saturday, right?
Look at
We're going to see you Saturday,
bitter.
right?
Somebody's bitter.
We're all bitter, for goodness
I
sakes.
hope the rest of your night is seamless, guys.
Thank you. I got that inside joke by Ben. We'll explain that at the end of the program. All right, Ben, just a half an hour to go, buddy. Stay right. Oh, never mind. Here is Chasing October, presented by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud partners of your fighting Philadelphia Phillies. National League East standings, they're the Mets 7 games back, so they make up a game tonight by virtue of their win this evening. Braves also win, and the Phillies with the loss at 91 and 61. So the Mets 7 games back. Best records in the National League. Dodgers a game back. Brewers now 3 games back. Folks, this is still wide open.
Before you panic, that's 2.
I'm not panicking.
That's like 1.5, 3.5. Just relax.
The Phillies hold
You're
the
gonna
tie.
be okay.
The Phillies hold the tie break over both. I understand that. All I'm saying is this is why they play the games. This is why we love sports.
I got to tell you something. I'm glad you brought that up
Thank
about
you.
the ninth inning to Ben, because I think it's gone a little bit too far. I mean, you watch the Brewers, and I'm sure most people, once that triple came on the board, were like, this game's over. All somebody has to do is put the ball in play. And then you see these guys swinging for the fences. It makes no sense whatsoever. I think the Phillies are a little smarter than that. We don't see a lot of that when if there's a runner on third base with nobody out. Obviously, you're just trying to get the ball in the outfield, put it on some green grass, or get yourself a sacrifice fly in a W. But I will say this much. You know, I don't believe the Phillies are like that if they were in a situation like that. And I'll tell you right now, if the Brewers continue to swing like that in the ninth inning, they're going to get a bunch of punch-outs, and they're going to sit there with a big goose egg on their head.
But Rob Thomson, the game broadcasters didn't know either. Rob Thomson was standing on the top step of the dugout. He was appealing to the umpires, and ultimately, obviously, it did not change the outcome of the game. But Rob Thomson is going to explain everything right now, post-game clubhouse.
On that last play, the runner didn't touch second base.
Yeah.
That would have mattered if there were 2 outs?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just want to make sure all the other runners touch.
Right. So if there were 2 outs, that run doesn't count, right?
Well, as long as people stay on the field.
Okay.
We got to have at least 2 people on the field, I believe.
Your team does.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of swing and miss in this series. For you
Yeah,
guys.
16 punch-outs the last 2 nights. That's a lot. We got to get back to our 2-strike approaches and using the field and eliminate chase.
You guys have been so good at cashing in those starting pitching performances of
Yeah.
7+. The streak kind of ends tonight.
Yeah.
Is that frustrating?
Oh, it's just
Waste that.
frustrating to lose, but I thought Nola was really good. I mean, the first 2 innings, the ball-to-strike ratio wasn't very good, but he wasn't missing by much with his fastball. And his stuff was good. He got some outs with his changeup. His breaking ball was sharp, and from third inning on, he was really good.
And I know you weren't worried after the last 2, but good to see him
Yeah.
get on track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he make any mechanical adjustments after his
Not that
last
I
swing?
know of. Not that I know of.
You mentioned before the game, like guys like him and Ranger can kind of ratchet it up when the lights are on them. Is that just the adrenaline that those guys feel? I mean, what enables someone like Nola? Nola hit 94 today. Fastball played up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it does for the guys, but I think there are certain guys that are big game guys, and he's one of them. And I think Ranger is too, as well as Wheeler. So I don't worry too much about them having a couple of back-to-back poor performances. I think they'll get it going again.
Obviously, you guys will face really good pitching come October if you get there. Why do you think this lineup is equipped to better handle that good pitching?
Oh, they've done it before. You know? So I mean, I like our lineup. I really do. Against anybody, to tell you the truth. So I'm confident in that.
Encouraged by Bohm's swing there and his first at bat. And
Yeah, and then the walk. And he was on some pitches tonight. So looks like he's getting his timing, so it's good to see.
Have all these Phillies Brewers games, even the ones going back to June, have they felt like playoff games? 'Cause
Yeah.
low scoring.
Yeah, 2 really good teams. Like you said, low scoring, tight games. You know, those are the games you certainly like to win and hate to lose. But you know, it's little detailed things you got to do. And, I mean, we played well tonight. Bohm made a great play at third base. Stott made a heck of a play up the middle. I thought we played really well. We just, you know, they pitched really well.
It was just an outstanding job. I mean, 7 innings, 3 hits. Not very much hard contact at all. 1 walk in the very first hitter of the game, and then 9 punch-outs. I mean, this guy dealt. And for people who do not believe that this guy can pitch in a big game, they are incorrect.
Yeah,
Because
ERA
he can do it.
goes down 3.62 to 3.54, as you see on the bottom line. But here's the thing: it's not like, you know, he has not had his issues in September throughout his career, gentlemen. It's just a fact. And he has his last 3 starts coming into tonight's game. His ERA was 7.20.
Well, let me ask you
I'm
something.
not saying he can't pitch in great games.
I'm Mr. Negative
I
here.
know,
Why are you dropping a negative Nancy on him when he just went out there and threw 7 innings of one-run baseball?
Well, because we're questioning him like, oh
I'm
my
not
goodness, this has
him.
never happened before.
Yes, it has happened.
I know
he's
that. I just
he's
want
had
to point
blow-up
that out.
games. He's had blow-up games. I'm not denying that.
No, he's had
I'm just
blow-up
telling you right now,
Septembers.
that game I just saw just now was a pretty damn good game he threw.
Absolutely brilliant. Completely agree with you. Just pointing out what has been, and hope ceases to continue. Tonight, here's the deal. Potential clinching opportunities. I think you would agree, gentlemen. These are big games tonight. Milwaukee, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 9 strikeouts, and walked just the first batter of the game. September 26th, last season against Pittsburgh. This was a clincher, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, not a walk to be found. Got the win. October of 22 at Houston. Remember that? We were like, what's going to happen at Houston? And they swept them, right?
I called that
They
game.
swept them. 6 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 9 strikeouts, not a walk. 2-0, 0.90 ERA in those 3 starts, which Ricky Bo is spectacular.
I thought those are good numbers. By the way, Ruben called that game.
Ruben called
Yes,
that game.
I did.
We just want to point
and
that
I
out.
think Eflin actually got the save in
Eflin.
that game.
Yes, he did. He came in late in the game. You're right.
Pretty cool too.
Very, very nice. Let's go to the clubhouse, and here's Aaron Nola post game.
Pretty good today. Everything felt pretty good today. Four seam command was pretty good. I think I was getting early outs. I think, finished 5 and went deep in the game. So I feel like it's been a while, but yeah, they're definitely a grindy team. Faced them earlier this year, and I kind of knew what they were about coming into the game. So I was just trying to execute my pitches and get first pitch twice and get the leadoff guy out, because I know pretty much most of the team runs, and they're pretty fast and athletic. So that was tonight.
Top curveball.
Yeah, definitely more today than the last game, except on one to Reese. I mean, I was just kind of middle. I put a good swing on it, but yeah, definitely felt a lot better for about night.
Teams haven't been running on you nearly as much as they did last season. Do you think some of that's because it was like pitch clock stuff earlier last season, or have you made like more of a conscious effort to hold guys on?
No, I have a slide step. I use a slide step a lot now, so I didn't have that until late last year. So I had to do something because they were stealing a lot, obviously, the pitch clock and then the bigger bases. So they were taking advantage of that because I wasn't able to really hold the guys on and pick as much as I usually do in the past. So I had to throw a slide step in there and try to get comfortable with it. So it's definitely helped out.
I think you might be down for 2 more for the end of the season.
I think so.
I mean, how do you feel just kind of going into this final 2?
Good. Body feels good. Arm feels good. Have a good week this week and recover good and get ready for the first game back at home. So overall, everything feels good.
Weird to give one up to Reese.
Yeah. I know when he hit it, I just kind of feel like I've seen that a lot on our side from him. So I've seen that guy hit curveballs out plenty of times. Honestly, it didn't really surprise me that he hit that pitch right there, but put a good swing on it. He's a tough at-bat. I obviously know that. I've seen it for many years, and he just puts together good at-bats against pitchers, and he never gives it away.
There's a chance you guys might see him again in October, possibly.
I don't know, maybe. So we got to keep winning, and if that point comes, that point comes.